Hey friends, welcome to Wilderness Survival, and we are going to learn about shelter building here. We want to start building a shelter as soon as we can, and one of the reasons I mentioned already about keeping your mind occupied. You don't know how long you're going to be out here. You don't know how long it's going to take you to build a shelter. I can build a shelter in about 15 minutes if I have the right materials around me, which I have. I'm in the woods. Wherever you are, you can always find some way of building a shelter to get you out of the weather, out of the rain, out of the cold. I have built these shelters before many times, and I've come back the next year after leaving them up all winter. I've come back the next year to check on them and see, hey, how'd I do? How'd the shelters hold up over the winter? And I came back, and inside the shelters, even though it was wet all around them in the springtime, it was dry as could be inside the shelters. I have had scouts build these before, and they did it late in the year. They were rushing to get it done before winter came, and they built these shelters, went in there because they knew it was going to get cold down into the 40s, maybe even the 30s that night. And they would go into their shelter with a sleeping bag, layers of clothing, heavy jacket, and their parents or scout leaders would tell me they came out the next morning basically in just a t-shirt and pants, and that was it. They were sweating in there. So these do keep you warm as long as they're built properly, and that's what I'm going to teach you here today, is how to build them properly. Now, we have all the materials we need around us right now. We have sticks, we have insulation, leaves. So we're going to start building a shelter by looking for something. I always like to look for a tree that's leaning, that's down. I want to make sure it's secure. But if I don't have that, I can find a branch like this one here. It's got a nice Y in it. So there's a nice Y right here. So I can take this, there's another Y down here too, but I can take this branch, I can lean it up against, we're going to use this tree here. I can lean it right up against this tree. I'm going to turn it over because I want a little bit of room in there. There we go. Okay, trying to make sure it is sturdy. Want that bottom in the ground nicely wedged into the ground because I don't want this collapsing on me. Then what I'm going to do, this is my backbone, my nice sturdy backbone, one that's going to hold up to weight. I have built these before real quick, just trying as a demonstration, and I've come back the next day and they're collapsed because the stick was too thin, and all the weight from the wet leaves, the branches on it, all of that made it collapse. So make sure this is sturdy. You're going to be sleeping under here and you don't want it collapsing on you in the middle of the night. Then I'm going to gather some sticks and I start building them up on both sides. So I've got lots of sticks around me. I'm just going to take all these sticks and you're going to go all the way from the top down to here. Now I know that's my wind direction. The wind's going to come from that direction, so I want my door on this side, opposite the wind. So I may go like here. Okay, that's a nice place to go in. I'm just going to keep piling sticks up here. You can see already how quickly this is going. So it doesn't take very long to build one of these. We'll put the short sticks down there. I'm just going to keep gathering some more sticks, and I don't want to spend too much time here, so I want to show you the finished product. As you can see, I'm getting it done pretty quickly here. Make sure you have sticks on both sides, sturdy sticks. Don't worry about the bugs. You're going to be sleeping. It's the wilderness. You're trying to survive. Okay, you're going to be sleeping with some insects here. Some worms are going to get in. So anyhow, so once I have, a couple of things. While you're building these, just for the merit badge, don't use any live material. Okay, don't be breaking trees, cutting trees down. Pine fronds. I've got pine trees all around me. I can use those fronds to help to insulate, to help build here. But for now, I'm not going to. In a true survival situation, yes, do it. Whatever you can to survive. Grab what you can. If you need to break these branches off, if I find some on the ground, that's great. But for now, no, I've got plenty of material. Do not take these and break them by hitting them like that. See how far that went? Okay, you could hurt yourself or someone else. So if you need to break this, again, so you can see it, I just push out with my foot like that. Don't use your knee, okay? You can do damage to your kneecaps, but make sure you do this safely. Now, I'm just gonna go a little bit further on this, not too much here. Just need a few more branches here. Now, after you have your shelter, and you want this just big enough for you, if you have someone with you at the time, 2 people, you can use your body heat to snuggle together. You want it only big enough so that it will fit you to sleep in and some of your gear if you have gear with you, if you have a backpack, but you don't want it too big. What is heating this? Oh, that's right, you can't talk to me because I'm one side of video here, but no. What are you heating with this? Think about it a second. What's heating this? No, you're not building a fire inside. That'll set the whole thing on fire. What's heating this is you, your body heat. So if you make it too big, you're going to lose way too much body heat. You're going to get hypothermia pretty quickly. So you want to keep it small enough so that you don't lose too much body heat in here. But your body heat will heat this pretty significantly. I keep the leaves underneath. It's nice insulation against the ground. Sometimes I will, probably here, I would put more leaves down. Make sure you get the sticks out from underneath. You don't want to be sleeping on those. It'll keep you up all night. So, but put a nice layer of leaves on the bottom. It insulates you from the cold ground. You don't want that hypothermia. You don't want to get cold. So I put a nice layer of leaves underneath. Now I don't need to insulate and waterproof the outside. Now I'm going to go, just for demonstration, I'll put these on this side. You want these probably about like this, okay? That's pretty satisfactory. That gives you enough stability. See, this is what happens when I build it really quick. It starts collapsing on me. You want stability, but you don't have to have it so that the sticks are just tons and tons of them. This is fine. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to gather the insulation. All the leaves on the ground here, I'm going to start piling up onto my shelter. So I'm grabbing them with my feet, all these leaves. Start at the bottom, start working your way up until you have it nice and thick. You want probably about a foot thick of insulation on here, of leaves. If you have pine fronds that are available on the ground, you can put those on, another layer of leaves. If you have something to block your doorway from the wind getting in, that's fine, but trust me, you don't need it. These, you make it about this size, okay? This is what, about 7-8 feet long. It's about 3 feet tall. This way I can lay down nicely in here. I'll be comfortable in here. Okay, so this is the basics of building a survival shelter. Now, if I kept going, it would take me, like I said, maybe like 15 minutes, half an hour tops. Get some good insulation on here. Start doing it right away. Take your time. I was rushing here only because I wanted to make sure that I demonstrated the basics of it. But if you take your time, it keeps your mind occupied so that you don't start stressing, you don't start worrying about the situation you're in. Panic, that's a killer. Yeah, panic makes you do some pretty silly things when you're in a survival situation. And you don't think straight, and it makes things worse. I've had it happen to me sometimes when I've been in a panic situation where it's like, oh no, I'm lost, and I don't think straight and things just get worse and worse and worse. As soon as you calm down, things are great. Okay, you can start thinking straight. You can start realizing, okay, I need to build a shelter. I want to survive here. Okay, so get the shelter built as soon as you can. You don't know how quick the sun's going down. Maybe you don't know what time it is. You want to get this done before it gets dark and it gets cold. Now, I already built one of these. I took my time. I built it much nicer. And I'm going to show you that. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay, friends, so as I was saying, I built a shelter earlier because I wanted to show you how quick and easy it is to do. And here's the shelter that I built. So you can see I used a tree that fell. Okay, so this tree, you can see the roots are still in the ground a little bit there, but it fell over. And so I started using that as my backbone. It's a pretty heavy duty tree too, so it really will hold the weight. I put a lot of larger sticks on this one. I started insulating it. Now I would actually use more insulation. I would put at least a foot thick, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Make sure you put a lot on the top because you don't want it leaking. You don't want water getting inside there. And as you can see here, there's the inside. That'll keep you nice and warm. There's a couple of holes on the end. You know, you want to go inside, you want to take a look around. You want to make sure that you can have enough insulation on there. You want to make sure that this is going to stay nice and warm. No critters are going to get in there other than the main entrance. You may get critters in with you. But this is what a basic shelter will look like. 2 people shelter, maybe 3 in this one. You can make it a little bit bigger. I've got a nice long backbone here. So if you have a large group, if you have like 6, 8 people, I would break these lower branches off, build it all the way up to the big tree. You could probably fit at least 10 people inside something that big. Okay, but for just a 1 or 2 people, yeah, this is perfect here. Nice and small. And if you wanted to, you could build a fire right out front. So this is a basic survival shelter. Okay, friends, so hopefully you never have to use this information. If you do, you will survive. Trust me, you will survive. This will save your life. This will keep you warm and dry. This will keep you alive. This shelter, it's big enough for maybe 2 people, 3 people. If you have a big group, let's say you're stranded with, I don't know, 20 people, you need to find shelter for all of them. There's a couple of things you can do. Each person or each group of people, maybe 2 or 3 people, can build one of these shelters just big enough for them. Remember, this is big enough for your body to heat it. You might want to build a small fire out front here. Small, you don't want to burn your shelter down. You don't want to take your backbone and burn that. So you do want a small fire that'll throw a little bit of heat in here, but your body heat's going to be fine for 2 people. Or if you have that many people, you may want to take a lot of these larger backbones, larger sticks, pile them up against a large tree all the way around it. So basically you're making like a teepee around this tree. And with that teepee, you start piling the leaves up, and inside, if you have enough room, you can build a small fire in there. So that's what you do with a large group. Once again, hope you never have to use this. Enjoy your shelter, spend the night in it, and you'll have a great time. You will survive. Thanks. Have a great day, everyone.